All right, Ken, thank you very much. And we are ready to go in the Sulky with one of my favorite people in the harness racing business. That is Mr. David Reid, the head of the Tattersalls Sales Company and the master of preferred equine. Dave, first of all, thank you very much for taking the time to come join us. We know this is a busy weekend for you, but we definitely wanted to give you the forum here to talk about some of the horses in this sale.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's always good to join you guys, for sure. You do a great job.
We appreciate that, and thank you very much. The January mixed sale is always considered to be one of your biggest sales of the year, and you've got, like, what, over 250 horses getting ready to go under the hammer?
Yeah, right around here. It is the biggest of the year for Tattersalls. We have 3 here. It is the biggest of the 3. We have about 240-something head, 170 racehorses, and our outs right now are under control, so we should be in good shape for Monday.
Okay, that's always a good thing about those outs, because some people get a little surprised when they show up at the back paddock on that Monday afternoon. But listen, I want to touch on what goes on behind the scenes, because we know this is not an easy production to pull off. There's a lot of moving parts. You have to ship horses and get them here and things like that. A lot of people involved. So tell us how it all works behind the scenes and how good your staff is.
Well, our staff's very good, obviously, and I couldn't do it without them. And we get cooperation from Bob Bonney, Northwood Bloodstock, and a few other small consigners. Horses really come from everywhere. We had, like, for example, we had 19 horses qualify yesterday here at the Meadowlands, 3 at Hawthorne. We had, I think, 14 race last night. One's up in Woodbine. Some out racing in Miami Valley tomorrow. So you really have to come through, try to work with the owners and trainers and coordinate that. But it goes back to even taking the entries back in early December, get the catalog online, keep the raceway light accounts up, the track it up they did, the Indigos, like trying to keep their past performances up to date, and that's why we try and do a good job running them every week, updating them, for they're available on our website.
Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate that email that Kelly sends me at the beginning of the week, the weeks leading up to the sale. It certainly makes my job a little bit easier here. Now, I read your quote here. This is what you said: this sale is stronger quality-wise than in the past. So please explain that to us.
Well, as we talked about in the show with Sam and for years, there's less horses being bred. So I think you're probably seeing less of the lower quality horses, so the horses that end up coming to the sale are a little better quality. The sale has produced numerous horses that have gone on to do great things after the sale, which I think has a great reputation of doing. And I think this year it's going to be right through the middle, uppers, very, very strong and deep. Something for everybody, all size tracks, all jurisdictions.
All right, speaking of one of those graduates of your sale, how proud are you to have said that in this sale last year you sold the horse that went on to pace Canada's fastest mile, Dr. J. Hanover?
Yeah, Dr. J. Listen, developed well by Tony. It's a unique opportunity to get when he sells because of yearling partnerships, or when he purchased them as a yearling, they have to be sold. We have a similar situation with a horse that won last night, Signal Hill. Out of the 10 holes, always been a talented trotter. He could go on to be an outstanding trotter. Propulsion, a few years ago, we sold him here at the Meadowlands. He won the Prix de Bourgogne last week over in Paris. He's going to be racing in a Prix de Marique. Easy Lover Hanover, Ben Wallace picked him up, took him to Canada last year, had a great year. He's been on a roll, and they're going to prepare him for this year's season too. So there's something for everybody, and the sale has spoke for itself for sure.
Yeah, that's a quick little tease on some of the horses that are going to go under the block. But we've got a couple of dispersals involved with this too. Explain what that's all about.
Yeah, the estate of George Hempt obviously we lost George a few years ago, and it's come to a time where the estate has to move on. Mr. Mulligan, breeder of the Triple Crown winner Mary Marauder, unfortunately, he hasn't been in great health. We lost him a few weeks ago, and therefore, that's where they're being offered, including 2 half-sisters to Mary Marauder. Whitebridge Farm, obviously the Parisi family, there's a slight downsizing there. So, unfortunately, for situations with people we've lost, that it's time to turn the page. All
right, that is unfortunately always the case in the business, but it's one person's loss is somebody else's opportunity. You never know where you're going to find your next champion. You got a nice, good, long list there in front of you, so tell us who else you're anxious to sell. I was flipping through the catalog, and I saw we've got the Kentucky Futurity winner.
Yeah, Snowstorm Hanover. You got Me So Fast. You have Art Scene, Inverse Hanover. Those are all top-level horses, and we have horses that have been coming out of the series in Canada. The winners that won the recent series up there, he's coming down. The elimination winner, Better Be Rolling, is coming down. So you really have numerous horses that are performing on a high level, and they're here to be sold. And I think there's a great opportunity for a lot of buyers.
Yeah, since they're coming from everywhere, how do you keep all of that under perspective? You're getting phone calls and texts all day, every day, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Technology, you have to embrace it, and technology is great when it works. But we really try hard, and listen, we have a lot of cooperation, and like I said, we got a big staff. The owners we deal with, the clients, they've been great, and you know, and truthfully, you guys at the Meadowlands make it a big deal too. You promote the sale very well, you give us coverage, and we appreciate that.
Well, that's our job. We're looking to help everybody in the industry as well. And it's not just you. It's not just Preferred Equine that sells. Who are some of the other guys, consigners and stuff?
Bob Bonnie, Northwood. He's got about 57, 58 horses. Always has a good consignment, and that's about it, you know, between the two of us.
Okay, we've talked about a couple of the horses that are probably going to sell for big bucks, but there's always a few sleepers in there that you think might be undervalued or might sell at the right price. You got a couple that you want to spit out?
You know, shout out to our guy Gabe down there in Pompano. You know, he's got Mouse Sterling Mafia. He's racing tonight. Sorry, Gabe, I might have just hurt your price a little bit, but you know, there's a lot of horses like that horse. You know, he won the Sire Stakes final in Kentucky. Probably go all size tracks, and no, really, you know, there's a lot of sleepers, but truthfully, the trainers, they're sharper than me. They know what's going on in the backstretch, and we let them, you know, do their work. I do my work, and so far it's worked out well.
Okay, I want to ask you one more thing, and this is probably the most important answer you're going to give us tonight. Somewhere out there tonight watching us and listening to us is somebody that might want to become a horse buyer, and he may get in the car, he or she might get in the car, come on over on Monday. What advice can you give them so that they don't feel intimidated by the entire process? What would you tell them to do? What's the first thing to do?
Come introduce yourself.
Okay.
I'll definitely help them, point them in the right direction. It's all about having good contacts, good people, good trainers, good connections. It's not that big of a secret. Just surround yourself with good people.
Okay, that's excellent advice. And we can't let you go with just asking you at least one thoroughbred question. We know you're a thoroughbred owner as well. Give us a very quick update on what the stable status is and when we're ready to see you in the winner's circle down at Gulfstream.
Well, it's been a little quiet on the home front, but you know, we raced a horse called No Nay Never a few years ago, and he stands in Ireland, and I was in Kentucky earlier this week. We got 5 2-year-olds, just turned 2-year-olds, are in training. Wesley's very happy with them. So we're actually, I don't want to say we're in a breeding game, but we're very happy with the way they look, and hopefully we'll have a winner there in the springtime at Keeneland.
All right, it always gives us a pleasure to watch your colors in any race at one of the big tracks, whether it be at Keeneland, whether it be up at Saratoga, or whether it's at Gulfstream. Dave Reid, thanks so very much again for taking the time. We want to wish you the best of luck on Monday. We want to wish the buyers and sellers out there the best of luck on Monday. Hopefully everybody will be happy when the final hammer falls.
Thank you very much.
David Reid, everybody.
Thank you.
Tattersalls sales manager and head of Preferred Equine, joining us tonight on In the Sulky, a Saturday night at the Big M. So we're going to take a quick time out now, and when we come back, Dave Little will join me, and we'll preview tonight's feature races.